Everyone knows that the world's money is pouring into London's booming property market. But with less fanfare, global investors are also starting to put their cash into more unloved corners of the UK.
You're driving me crazy. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire!
Bolton, a town in Greater Manchester, was having a hard time before the recession and has had an even harder time since. A fund backed by South African retail tycoon Christo Wiese has just snapped up this Bolton shopping centre. So what does South Africa's third richest man want with a place like this? Prices and competition are so hot in London and the South East right now that investors are starting to look further afield. So-called secondary commercial property assets, like this one in Bolton, have roughly halved in value since the crisis, offering a much higher rental yield than posher properties. Plus, now the economy is recovering, investors are feeling a bit braver about taking risks. Down in London's Park Lane Hotel, Allsops is holding a commercial property auction, and Duncan Moyer, the auctioneer, can see that interest in regional property is picking up.
Standing on the rostrum, I think I have the best view in the property market, particularly in a room like today where we must have had 300 or 400 people, a lot of bidders. There's always some spectators, but they like to see activity going on in the room, which is what you get when you offer properties under the hammer, and it gives people a lot of confidence. What's very encouraging is seeing the breadth of demand returning to the market. The last 2 or 3 years have been very London and the South East centred. We are seeing a lot more demand now for good quality regional assets.
If Bolton is anything to go by, this trend should be good news for Britain's economy. The shopping centre's previous owner went bust after the crisis, and the bank that ended up owning it didn't invest in it. Tenants left, shoppers left, and Bolton was left with a zombie shopping centre. Not quite dead, but not really alive either. Now Morgarth, the new South African owner, wants to change all of that. And the company wants to do it quickly, much to the delight of the local council.
Well, they're moving at pace, and what we've tried to do as a council is match that pace to make sure that any approvals, planning consents are delivered in a timely fashion so that we can start to see the physical change in the town centre and in particular the shopping centre. What's fantastic is that the scheme is designed 9-screen cinema, 1,200 seats, and that was one of our key aspirations for the town centre.
Morgarth's ambitions are not limited to that new cinema it's going to put on the roof. It also wants to expand underground.
The plan is that we're going to open up the vaults, subject to the planning consent. We're going to be opening up the vaults straight into the mall. So at ground floor mall you'll be able to look down into what are absolutely beautiful vaults. The plan is to put restaurants, wine bars, together with a little bit of retail, little designers guildy type feel. But we've had a lot of interest.
Of course, a cinema and some restaurants aren't going to fix all of Bolton's problems. Nevertheless, Britain's recovery should be strengthened by the arrival of fresh investment and enthusiasm in places like this, far from London's gleaming towers. Sarah O'Connor, Financial Times, Bolton.